Ever wonder which single comic secretly kicked off DC's entire Silver Age? Or which issue first invented the multiverse that later led to Crisis on Infinite Earths? Today we're diving into 10 classic DC stories where heroes were reborn, teams were created, and one strange experiment in a lab changed superhero history. Some of these books are worth a fortune, but most fans have only seen the covers. If you like this kind of DC deep dive, make sure to hit like, drop a comment with your favorite Silver Age comic, and subscribe to the channel. That support really helps the videos reach more fans. Now let's jump straight into the list. Showcase number 4 is often cited as the start of DC's Silver Age, debuting The Flash in the story Mystery of the Human Thunderbolt. Written by Robert Kanigher with art by Carmine Infantino, it introduces scientist Barry Allen, struck by lightning, soaked in chemicals, and able to move at super speed. Released in 1956 as a 10-cent issue of the tryout title Showcase, it used that format to test if a science-based superhero could hook readers again. Today, high-grade copies of Showcase number 4 have reached around $900,000 at auction, reflecting just how important this single comic became to collectors and historians. The huge response showed DC that readers wanted sleek, science-colored heroes again, encouraging the revival of other Golden Age names like Green Lantern and the Atom in fresh new forms, and quietly launching the whole wave of Silver Age reimaginings. Detective Comics number 225 introduces John Johns in The Manhunter from Mars, written by Joseph Simakson with art by Joe Certa, years before he became the heart of the Justice League. Published in November 1955, it actually predates Showcase number 4, so a lot of historians point to this issue as the real start of DC's Silver Age. Early on, Martian Manhunter is less a cosmic powerhouse and more a strange new cop story, with limited powers and a heavier focus on mystery and crime. Living undercover as Detective John Jones in a nameless American city, John blends sci-fi with classic noir cases and low-key weirdness. Later continuity turns him into a founding member of the Justice League, which makes this quiet debut way more important in hindsight. DC even played with his lore in a company calendar that picked April 24th as the day he was stranded on Earth, giving fans a specific anniversary to celebrate his arrival. Adventure Comics number 247 throws Superboy into the future and accidentally launches one of DC's biggest franchises. In this 1958 story, he meets Cosmic Boy, Lightning Boy, later renamed Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl, the founding members of the Legion of Superheroes. The concept is pure optimistic 50s sci-fi. Teenage heroes from the 31st century travel back in time just to test whether Superboy is worthy of joining their club. Originally, the Legion was meant to be a one-off novelty in a Superboy anthology, but the response was so strong that they kept coming back to Adventure Comics until they eventually took over. Collectors now treat this issue as one of DC's big Silver Age key books, with serious prices even in mid-grade. More than that, the Legion gave DC a huge sandbox for time travel, galactic politics, and a wildly diverse future long before cosmic sagas became standard. Action Comics number 242 drops 2 massive pieces of Superman lore at once in the Super Duel in Space. Written by Otto Binder with art by Al Plastino, it introduces Brainiac and the bottled city of Kandor in a single, dense Silver Age sci-fi story. Critics and historians regularly rate this issue as a perfect 10 in importance because it reshapes Kryptonian mythology and adds a truly terrifying mastermind to Superman's rogues gallery. The idea of shrunken cities and bottles actually comes from an earlier Superman newspaper strip, where an alien named Ramato collected towns in jars, and Binder reworks that hook into Kandor. Once Kandor exists, writers can send Superman inside the bottle, strip away his powers under a red sun, and force him to live as just another Kryptonian. That recurring struggle to restore the city to normal size humanizes him, showing a hero who literally cannot fix everything, no matter how strong he is. Action Comics The 252 is the moment the Superman family truly expands, with the Supergirl from Krypton formally introducing Kara Zor-El as his younger cousin. Again written by Otto Binder and drawn by Al Plastino, the story gives her a clear origin, costume, and mission instead of treating her like a temporary gimmick. DC had already tried a magical Supergirl in an earlier tale, but this issue makes Kara the definitive Supergirl and keeps her around as a regular character. The same comic quietly stacks its importance by also debuting Metallo in a separate story, making it a double-key issue for collectors. Modern guides and critics consistently rank Action Comics number 252 as a top-tier Silver Age book, both for value and impact on the mythology. Decades later, Kara's first appearance still echoes through animation, live-action TV shows, and even the 1980s Supergirl movie, all tracing back to this single 1959 issue. Showcase number 22 reimagines Green Lantern for the space age, giving Hal Jordan his first appearance and origin in place of the older mystical version. It shows test pilot Hal chosen by the dying alien Abin Sur, who passes him the ring and battery in a crashed spaceship. The issue also introduces Carol Ferris, the boss's daughter who becomes his complicated love interest, and plants the seeds that grow into the wider Green Lantern mythology. Behind the scenes, Showcase number 22 pairs writer John Broome with artist Gil Kane, the team that defines Hal's sleek, modern look for years. It is the first comic to hint clearly at the Green Lantern Corps, turning one ring into part of a vast interstellar police force. Collectors rank it as one of DC's most valuable late 50s keys, with a print run around 200,000 copies and famously sky-high prices in top condition. The Brave and the Bold, number 28, is where the Justice League of America explodes onto the scene, already a full team fighting the alien conqueror Starro. In this 1960 issue, readers watch Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter cooperate as if they have a shared history. There is no slow origin or recruitment arc, only a tight story that throws DC's biggest heroes together against a strange cosmic threat from the ocean. Behind the page, writer Gardner Fox and artist Mike Sekowsky build the first major super team of the Silver Age in the same anthology that once hosted the original Suicide Squad. The strong response to this single issue helped the League win its own title, nudged Marvel toward Fantastic Four number 1, and turned The Brave and the Bold number 28 into a mega key, with top copies selling for huge sums and symbolizing the rise of shared superhero universes. Justice League of America number 1 turns a one-off team-up into a permanent home for DC's Superstar Group in 1960, even though the number 1 never appears on the cover. Inside, Gardner Fox scripts and Mike Sekowsky draws the League's first solo outing, pitting them against the telepathic villain Despero in his debut appearance. The book keeps the same energetic style fans loved in The Brave and the Bold, and makes it feel like these heroes have already been working together for years. Murphy Anderson's cover art anchors the title visually, while the issue quietly becomes the first full-scale Silver Age Super Team series rather than just another guest spot. Collectors and market watchers later treat Justice League of America number 1 as a hot book that spikes around movie and TV hype, and story-wise it opens the door for classics like the official origin in Justice League of America number 9 and the big JLA and JSA crossovers that lock in the multiverse. The Flash to 123 is the landmark Flash of Two Worlds issue where DC's multiverse really comes to life. Gardner Fox writes Barry Allen vibrating into Earth 2 by accident and meeting Jay Garrick, revealing that the old Golden Age adventures happened on a parallel world instead of being erased. Carmine Infantino draws it under Julius Schwartz and stages the famous shot of both Flashes racing in from different directions to save the same person. Fans and historians often cite this story as one of the few superhero comics that truly changes the rules. By using a parallel Earth, DC keeps Barry Allen in the spotlight while treating Jay Garrick's history as real instead of an outdated version. The strong response leads straight to Justice League of America number 21 and number 22, early Crisis team-ups, and later becomes the backbone for Crisis on Infinite Earths and many reboots. Detective Comics 327 marks the start of the new look era for Batman when editor Julius Schwartz steps in to rescue a struggling title. The most obvious change is the bat emblem now framed in a bright yellow oval on his chest, a sharp, modern symbol that jumps on the page. At the same time, the stories move away from aliens, gimmick worlds, and talking bat creatures and lean back into crime scenes, clues, and grounded mystery plots. That yellow oval quickly becomes a licensing dream, turning Batman's chest symbol into a clean icon for toys, posters, and t-shirts everywhere. Inside the comics, the shift brings shocks like Aunt Harriet's arrival, and even a storyline where Alfred seems to die, proving the cast and tone can really change. Many readers treat Detective Comics Omega 327 as the line between the goofy 50s Batman and the more serious modern Dark Knight. That's our tour through the DC Silver Age comics that reshaped the universe. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, drop a comment with your favorite issue, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video.